Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Gnarlo here. Say hello to everyone, Gnarlo. Good boy. When last we left off, we were down here by the Elven shipwreck, far, far up here in the north, in the frozen lands of Forochel. We had just finished up trying to find peace for the last king as the shade of the last king as we were traveling around. And we think we have finally found the second half of the ring Narchuil. We are tasked with taking that back to Rivendell, and that is what we are going to do now. Even though there's a nice gentle snowstorm that's coming down upon our heads here. Looks like, is this the afternoon or late evening, I would think. Yeah, here at dusk. Thought it was because of all the yellow and purple. I thought it was getting close to sunset here. So we are going to do that. We've got a few things over here of yard trash we need to take care of as well. So I figured we're going to travel up the hill, clean up our inventory a little bit, and then afterwards we will see y'all in Rivendell as we take the remains of the ring back to Lord Elrond. So we will see you in just a little bit here. And then we will bid farewell probably to Forochel. I think that's probably the last time we will be up here for quite a while. I can't think of anything else that we would have to come back up here for. So we will see how that goes, which is a shame actually. Like I said, it's one of my favorite zones. The snowfall that comes down constantly. The pretty, it's kind of like looking over Alaska or scenery like that with the snow and the ice. Imagine being in Antarctica where it's always frozen and snowing. It's a shame, but once again, it's, you know, it's part of the fact that leveling happens so quickly now. I was talking about it with my friend Mindfiend when we were in the secret world earlier today. Playing around in there, it's like, you know, everything happens so quickly now. You remember, all these zones have 50 to 100 quests that take place in it. These wonderful stories that get told in these zones that we haven't even touched here because of that very reason right there. Because we're so, you know, doing the epic line just moves us right on along, and you level so fast, we're already so far above the epic line that we're just eating through it. You know, if you were doing these more appropriately, more appropriate level, you would have you'd have plenty of time to be eating up all the quests in the zone. In fact, you'd have to, just in order to level up enough to keep the main quest manageable and keep it from killing you. But there you go. That's the way it goes. Anyway, my rant for the day over with. Not really a rant so much as just a element of sadness. I know that's the way it goes these days with what expectations of MMOs are like, but doesn't mean I have to particularly like it and that I can't be sad for the old times. Let me talk to the supplier over here, get our armor fixed up, get some of this stuff sold off, and we will see you in just a little while.
With the aid of his rescuers, the elf Lyrden was able to recover half of the ring Narchuil in Angmar. Soon after, the location of the remaining half was discovered in the icy wastes of Forochel, though the minions of Angmar were close at hand. Now the ring must be returned to Rivendell before Angmar and Amarthael can recover their full strength.
We are taking our horse down into the beautiful valley of Imladris here, headed to the last homely house. See, we have done quite a bit of inventory control there. Not only did we sell off some of the yard trash we had, but we also stopped by our house over at the Hobbit housing project and managed to tuck away a few things that we'd been carrying around for a long time that we shouldn't have had on us anymore. And it's kind of like what we need to do up here. I need to take some of these really much lower powered healing solutions and see if we can't trade them to some lower level characters. In the meantime, we are going to enter the last homely house, and we are going to head all the way up to the top to, excuse me, Elrond's study. Seem to have got the hiccups all of a sudden. That is not good. Not a good time for it. Oh, me. Where is it? Ah, there we go. I was going to say, I swear it used to be up higher than this, and it is. Isn't there another floor? Nope, there it is, Elrond's library. For some reason, I swear you used to had to climb twice to get up here, but never mind. You know how it is. The memory is the third or fourth thing to go whenever you're getting old, and I don't remember what the other 2 or 7 are. Anyhow, let us talk to Lord Elrond. Here's the man himself. Let him know we have found the second half of the ring Narchuil. And here we go. Chapter 10 of Book 13. A Triumphant Return.
Hope is not in vain.
You have returned from Forochel, and with the refragment of Narchuil. And what is this, you say? The shade of Arvidu remained there. A foul end to a good man. May the Valar have mercy upon his spirit. His greetings are welcome, but they will be welcome more by his heir, I think. Go to Aragorn and tell him of your meeting with Arvidu. Unlike many men, I think you will find he does not fear the dead or word of them. He is in one of the guest rooms along the road that winds up the southern slope of the Vale of Imladris. Okay. So did they... I'm assuming that he must have taken the second half of the ring of Narchuil away from me. In the meantime, we are going to travel back over to where Aragorn is. Y'all all know where that is, I'm sure. Go up the slope we just rode down, and right over the top, back over toward the guest houses. We've been there a number of times now. As if you remember, Aragorn and Gimli and Legolas and Boromir are all housed within. So while we pull up a horse, we're going to go here. We're going to ride back up the hill, all the way up just like we came down, and then over the top and back down here to the guest rooms. And that's where we will see you next, when we bring Aragorn word of his long-lost kin. And we will see you then. Guest houses are dead ahead. Let us see what Aragorn has to say about the shade of Arvidu. King lost in such folly long ago, who should serve as a warning. I see you back there, Boromir. Should serve as a warning to Aragorn about the dangers of hubris and arrogance. Alas, such a weight King Arvidu must bear. Thank you for your tidings, my friend. When there is more time, we might speak at more length of your meeting.
Greetings.
Alright, chapter 11. Narchuil goes south. I thank you again for bringing me word of your meeting with the shade of Arvidu. I hope that his spirit will find rest from its exile. In the meantime, Lérdan has been awaiting news of your efforts. You should go to him and tell him of your adventures. He is in his chambers in the first floor of the last homely house. Go with the goodwill of all free peoples. And next time we will get to choose one of these blue weapons, blue level weapons. Ooh, we like the blues. Blues are, you know, if you've seen before with the color coding and all that, the blues are the best things that you can get of their particular level. You know, you've got the grays, and then you get the greens, and then like the magentas and the purples and that, but the light blues are the best you can get until you get up to some of the stuff like this, you know, which are the fine. You know, we've got the fine Madam Hunter's boots here, which are the absolute best, but those are the rare ones. So we will see how those turn out. Okay. Let me text the wife back, and then we will head back over yonder in the little ping pong battle that they are having, knocking us back and forth the valley here. And we will tell Lairdan what has transpired, and allow him to decide where he's going to ping pong us next. So we will talk to you in just a few here. Approaching the last homely house once more, and I do mean once more, because this is the second time we've come over here since we talked to Aragorn. Heading toward the guest chambers here, and it's because we rode over here before after talking to Aragorn, showed up, came in here to talk to Lairdan, and all he would do was stand there, little words above his head going, "They have no right to treat me this way. No ring, no nothing." I wandered around for about 3 or 4 minutes trying to figure out why he wouldn't talk to me before I realized that when I was over there talking to Aragorn, I hadn't actually accepted the next part of the chapter from him. So it kind of makes it hard.
What can I do for you?
Kind of makes it hard to talk to the next quest giver if you haven't accepted the quest from the last quest giver, doesn't it? Chapter 11, Narchuil Goes South. At last, the final fragment of Narchuil has been found. I must prepare now to take the ring south. The plans are nearly complete. I was perhaps wrong to wish Narchuil reforged. I see now how dangerous the thing may be. It must be destroyed, and I believe there is but one place where that may be done. It is not far, but I deem it will be dangerous. Foes will assail us from every side, but we must succeed. Neither Amarthiel nor Mordrembor must recover it. Farewell for now, Gnarlo. So choose one. Blade of Keria. Dagger of Keria. Sword of Keria, which we won't be able to have. Staff of Keria. Bow of Keria. Runestone of Keria. And Spear of Keria. So we're looking at the blade or the dagger. It's a one-handed sword and a one-handed dagger. Both have 38.5 DPS. This one increases your parry chance. That one increases your auto attack critical hit. Let's see. Ooh, they're both going to be upgrades to the other. Alright, we got Fate, Might, 91 power regen, and 200 crit rating. 91 power regen, agility, vitality, parry. Alright, I think we're going to go with the blade. We will take the blade, and we will probably replace... Ooh, Ein's Doom is probably what we will replace with it, because we got agility, vitality, the in-combat crit. Yeah, I think that's the one that we will probably take. There we go. Alright, completed chapter 11.
Stay a moment.
Now. Alright, we are starting book 14, chapter 1, The Long Road South. We are about done with the Shadows of Angmar. Remember, that was the original story. The original game was The Shadows of Angmar, and it's 15 books long, so we are starting the penultimate book here. Greetings, Gnarlo. You have been of great help to me in the past, and now have need of your aid once more. As you know, we will soon depart for Forochel, but there is much to be done before I leave. First, I would ask you to visit Philananeth here at the Hall of Fire at Rivendell, and request provisions of her. Then I would have you journey to the Isle of Tinadur in Evendim, and ask Nat Collop to send my trusted steed Aurel back to me. Lastly, I would ask you to venture to Gathforthnir, and ask Goladir to return my breastplate to me. It has long been missing. When you have accomplished these tasks, return to me, and we will depart. You would do this, wouldn't you? What are rewards do we get? Laerdan's quill, we're getting a pocket item. Laerdan's quill and Laerdan's note. You know, you're giving me stuff that isn't better than what I've already got, thank you very much, but I guess I'll do it for you since you are such a good friend, as it were. Head on out. I'm surprised we didn't get a cutscene. I was thinking surely we should have gotten a cutscene there with all the information. Hall of Fire here, going, you know, Gandalf's voice talking about the ring Narchuil has been found, and Laerdan insists that he will take it south, blah, 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 blah. I wonder, with his insistence on taking it south, if he's planning on going down to the, if he's planning on taking it down to the Elven Forges, down in the Forochel, you know, where the lesser rings were crafted. Philananeth, novice cook.
Sweet-eyed Melon, will you stay a moment?
Provisions. Greetings, Gnarlo. Laerdan's journey is not unknown to me. I have gathered many provisions, but I lack the fine clover honey I need to prepare limbus, the waybread of the elves. I am given to understand, however, that there is an expert cook in the Shire, the land of the halflings. Young Peregrine Took suggested I send someone to Mickle Delving to find this cook, but the journey is far, and we are busy with many preparations. Perhaps you would undertake this task. Journey to Mickle Delving in the Shire, far to the west of Rivendell, and purchase some fine clover honey, then return to me. Sure, why not? I am an errand boy after all, and it seems like chapter 14 is off to the rousing start of making sure we visit every single zone in the game one more time. Or at least the original zone. Anybody want to lay a bet that we eventually have to go all the way back up to Forochel as well? I'm willing to. Alright. And you know what? That also makes me glad that I still haven't got rid of the Gathforthnir milestone there. What a wonderful stroke of luck and serendipity that we're still carrying that. Okay, so we are off over to the stables. Once we get there, we're going to take the ride back to the Shire. And we will see you when we get to Mickle Delving. And a couple of quick swift travels later, we have arrived back at the Shire. Now, talking about the fine clover honey, I can only imagine they must be talking about getting it from the cook, the master cook up here at the Shire crafting area. There should be an expert cook, probably Miss Underhill here, who I would imagine either her or perhaps the supplier over here. Let's see if one of them,
how do you do,
might have some fine clover honey. And assume this is hopefully in alphabetical order. Drop of honey, drop of fine clover honey. How much do we need? Expert cook, yes. Fine clover honey, yes. We need to get 5 of them. Is that correct? Let's check here. Buy. That's it. 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Now we'll need to take that back to her. But I think before we do that, before we head back over there to see her, we're going to travel to the other areas as well. So the next stop will be Gath Forthnear. Let's go back down to the stable master and see if he will have a, well, not Gath Forthnear, but Tinadir. Let's see if he has like a swift travel to Tinadir.
Good day.
And indeed he does, right there. So we will head over there now and pick that up from, go visit the stable master and get his horse back. As you see, with all these swift travels we're taking for 24 and 25 silver apiece, you ain't gonna make a profit off of this particular mission. I think the reward for it is like 25 silver, and we've already spent 4 or 5 times that much in stable fees, but there you go. You got into this to save the world and save the free peoples, didn't you? You didn't get into it to become a capitalist. Alright, Nat Collop, the steed Errol.
Would you do something for me?
Well now, Laerdan sends you to bring his horse back to him. That'd be a mite difficult. You see, he badly needs new shoes, and I haven't the materials to finish them. Without some dwarf steel cutlery molds, there's not much more I can do. I hear there's an expert metalsmith at Thorin's Hall, out in the Blue Mountains way off to the west, who may have some, but I can't leave. Perhaps you would make the journey to Thorin's Hall and purchase a few of the molds. I'm sure it would be worth your while. Of course I can. Do you have a travel destination that'll take me there? Of course you don't. So we are going to have to travel back to Michael Delving and then travel over to Thorin's Hall from there. We will see you when we get back to Thorin's Hall. We are traveling through Freren's court. Have just left the stable master. I've got to say, even with all this traveling around and ping-ponging back and forth, all the FedEx quest here, it's still nice to be back here in Thorin's. I have not been here for a while. This is my old stomping ground, because my first real character, my main, Glenorin, I call him my main, of course. I think we've discussed this before, although Gnarlo here might as well be my main these days. He's the one I spend 90% of my time on. This was his home. This was his hometown here, Thorin's Hall. So it's probably the part of the game that feels the most like home to me. That and the Shire. My 2 favorite areas. Okay, we are looking for a master metalsmith. I'm going to assume that he is down in this side. Master Craftsman. Don't think that's it. I got a feeling. What? Expert metalsmith. I got a feeling he's going to be in the forges over here. Probably right here, Mr. Molda. We need 5 dwarf steel cutlery molds. So let's see. Dwarf steel cutlery mold. 5 of them. Lord, 5.5 silver apiece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And bring them back to Nat Collop at Tinadir. So that is what we will do. Good googly moogly. So it's back over to Nat. Travel back over to Tinadir. We'll go out and hit the stable master. And see if these will serve his purposes. And if so, then it will be off to Gath Forthnear to collect the breastplate. And we'll have to see what it is that he wants in return. Because you know, just handing the breastplate over to me is not going to be enough. He's probably going to want a replacement, which means we'll have to go and collect something for him as well. We will see you in just a little bit. We do have the cutlery molds now. Let us see whether they will serve the purposes for Nat over here and getting the horse reshoed.
What do you need?
Well, these would do right nicely, Gnarlo. Why are better to get dwarf steel molds than the dwarves? You tell Master Lairdan that I'll send a rider down with Errol as soon as the new shoes are finished. Alright, we actually completed that part, didn't we? Now we need to go to Gath Forthnear, and as I've said, we have serendipitously still have a milestone. So we are going to quick travel up there. Go talk to Goladir and see what it is that he is going to require for us to do for him in order to give back Lairdan's breastplate. Lordy, lordy, I did not think that we would be ending up all the way back up here in Angmar again. Not this soon. Not this soon. And we still have a showdown a showdown with a Marthiel in the book, so I'm sure at some point our story is going to end up here.
Might I take a moment of your time?
It was the shadows of Angmar, after all. Alas, I know not where Lairdan's breastplate may lie. I do not recall him wearing it when we came to Gath Forthnear. There's one place you may look, but it is a terrible and dangerous place. There is no other place, no other kind of place than that, up here in Angmar, Goladir. Everything is terrible and dangerous. When we first passed the Ramas Dulion, we took refuge at a place called Dolandath in Imlad Balcorth. When the dead arose, we fled and left much behind. Perhaps Lairdan's breastplate was among those belongings. If you wish to search Dolandath, you will find the entrance in Imlad Balcorth to the south and west of Mirkworth. But beware the dead. The quest is meant for a fellowship. If you choose to undertake the quest solo, you will receive an inspiration bonus, but the challenge will be great. Alright, we are going to accept it, and that is where we will stop. On our little bunny hop around the zones of Middle-earth once more. We're going to sit here, we're going to smoke a pipe with Goladir, and let him tell us everything that he can remember about this place that we will be going to here shortly. Hope you've enjoyed our little story today as we've traveled about, working on Chapter 1 of Book 14. Now, as I said, that this is the penultimate book, and that soon we would quickly be going through and getting to the end of the story, but if every chapter in this book takes us 2 or 3 episodes, like what it's looking like this one is going to do, it may not be over quite as quickly as I was hoping. Anyway, thanks for watching, hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.